Joel's awesome. So good to see you guys. And we're still admitting several people in, and we are live on Facebook. And I am excited to share with you guys today. So I know that last week we talked a lot about the Live to Lead conference that we had just gotten back from in Atlanta. And we talked a lot about some of the ahas that we had from John Maxwell and from Ed Mylett. And in a couple of my offices, I have been showing a beginning part of a video from Ed Mylett. And today I want to take like 11 minutes and let you watch and or listen to the second part. And it's great. And to be honest, I've actually listened to it again and taken even more notes. And just being able to about it from a he talks a lot of the power of, and he's going to tell a story really in son how that what he talks about the one more weird am I okay, what about now? Is that better? No? Okay, yes, Joel's saying yes. Okay. Hold on. Let me switch to my hotspot maybe since I'm gonna play a video. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Is that better, Heather? Okay, perfect. Okay. So one of the things that he talks about in the power of one more is if we could have one more day, one more conversation, one more some of those things. And he tells it a lot better than what I tell it. So that's why I wanted to let you guys listen directly towards him. Okay, Heather says I'm still cutting out. Am I okay now? You're good? I'm good?
You're
okay.
Good now. Yeah, that just came through a little late.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay. So here we go. And this is going to be about 11 minutes. And then I'm going to share a couple of ahas after this. Let me make sure I got us in the right spot.
Stop you. One more point I want to make to you. You got to start to understand the power of one more. I've only talked about this once and I'm going to try to get through, but it's about my dad. This month, my dad will be a year that my dad passed away. People ask me all the time, who did you go get advice from? You know, all these well-known people, you know, one person, my dad. That's my best friend, my father. I'm named after him. I got a grandfather that I'm named after too. My dad's my hero.
Shoot, sorry guys. Wait, can you not see the video? Oh no.
I think it's trying to catch up.
Okay. Hold on. I've had it loaded. So let me go back. Hold on. Okay. I was hoping you'd be able to see it because he shows some pictures.
We can see it.
Okay, let's try again.
Go to events. You got to decide that winning is more fun than fun is fun. And you're going to get some momentum. And you get that momentum, there's nothing that can stop you. One more point I want to make to you. You got to start to understand the power of one more. I've only talked about this once and I'm going to try to get through it, but it's about my dad. This month, my dad will be a year that my dad passed away. People ask me all the time, who did you go get advice from? You know, all these well-known people, you know, one person, my dad. That's my best friend, my father. I'm named after him. I got a grandfather that I'm named after too. My dad's my hero. Why is he my hero? The entire reason I'm in the personal development or change your life space is because I watched my hero do it. My dad was an alcoholic the first 15 years of my life. Pretty bad one. I watched him completely change his life in the last 35 years, live a miraculously great life, help hundreds, if not thousands of people get sober themselves. I watched him become a man of tremendous change and influence. Not a rich man, not financially, but my dad, if you measure a man versus a man, I'm nowhere near the man my father was. I watched him literally change his life. There was always a good man in there. There was always a good man, but there was this thing holding him back. You have that thing holding you back. My dad's was drinking. Yours might be your self-esteem or something happened to you as a kid or your background or you don't think you're pretty enough or smart enough. You got this thing. My dad's was booze. Yours might just be a thought, might be an emotion, but it might be one of those things. remember I'm 15, my dad pulls the car over. My dad had tried to get sober many times. My dad pulls the car over on the way to a Little League game. Never seen my dad cry before this or after it. My dad was a dude. My dad ends up leaning down to me and going, hey, tears in his eyes. He goes, I'm going to go away for a few weeks. I'm going to get sober. I said, okay, Daddy, that's great. What would make this different? He said, your mother's told me I'm going to lose my family and I have one more chance. I'm going to do it because your mother deserves the husband worthy of, and you and your sisters deserve a world-class father. And I'm going to do it this time. My dad had one more chance. He made one more decision. You are one decision, one relationship, one meeting, one conversation, one thought, one walking into McKinley Home for Boys, one speaker away from completely changing your life. One. You know how my dad stayed sober, by the way? He did not try to stay sober his entire life. My dad stayed sober one more day at a time. You do things one more day. You think about quitting the business you're in right now, just don't quit for one more day. Maybe you need one more shot at that relationship. You want to know the power of one more? Here's the power of one more. You know what I would give for one more round of golf with my dad? What if you started to live your life like you had one more day? What if that precious daughter of yours, you looked at her like it was one last time you got to talk to her? That beautiful spouse of yours that you're always getting into it with. What if you just had one? What if you just have one more dance with your sweetheart? One.
It's breaking up and it stopped.
Let me tell you what I watched my dad do. I'm going to share this with you because it's personal. I'll go 1 minute more, maybe 90 seconds. This is me and my dad when I was a little boy. This is me at my wedding. I'll show you this, and I asked my mom's permission because I want you to remember this. That's me and my grandfather and my dad. Those are 3 Edward Milettes.
Hold on, guys. I think it's breaking up. Is it, is it better now? No? Okay, hold on. Shoot, this is a good part. Hold on. I'm gonna get it right.
Yes, it is so good.
Much better. The picture's clear. No sound.
Okay, I've got it paused to try to catch up. Is the picture clear now?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me try one more time.
A week after that picture was taken, my hero in the middle, Papa, passed away. He landed on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. He's a stud. He was gone. A week later, my dad moved to his seat and I moved. And I remember literally thinking, wow, I'm 1 seat away from Papa's seat now. Like that. Like that. My dad and I were playing golf one day. This day right here. And he was breathing heavy. He's a dude. So I said, let's go. He goes, yeah. What's wrong with me? 2 weeks later, we found a football-sized tumor in his chest. He had 12 hours of surgery to get that out. Chemo, radiation, proton therapy, chemo, radiation, proton therapy, over and over and over. This is my dad starting to get sick. You can see it on him, can't you? You see it? I know now I have a limited number of days with him. You have someone you love, you act like you have one more day. This is my dad in the hospital during COVID. I asked the nurse to take this picture because I wasn't allowed to go see him. And they're alone. You could see. He stayed alive one more day for his family, one more chemo, one more radiation, just for his grandchildren, just for his family. He called me the next day after this picture. I'm going to do it in my voice. My dad would talk like this. My dad had my voice, like this deep voice, but now it was gone. 12 breaths a minute, 20 breaths a minute, sometimes 3 breaths a minute. Get me. I'm like, Dad, I'm not coming to get you. Got to do another steroid shot. This call was different. My dad said, listen to me. I have one more day. I have one more day. I want to come home and I want to be in my home with your mom and with you and the sisters. Come get me. I have one more day. I've never loved my dad more than that day. He never meant more to me more than that day. I called his doctor. I said, what's the deal? He goes, come get him. This is my dad being wheeled wheeled into his living room about 12 hours after you saw that other picture. That woman right there is my mom, watching her husband of 52 years on his one more day. Right there. Right where he wanted to be. I was with my dad holding his hand when he passed away. This is an hour before my dad passed away. Why do I show you that? It's an intimate, personal thing. I want you to be thinking about your life. You will eventually have one more hour. You will eventually have one more day. The people you love will. Maybe there's someone that's passed away that you love so much. You need to honor them with your life. I honor them with my life. You honor them with your greatness. You honor them with the risks you take. My dad, after he passed, I was there holding his hand. And I was asked to take some of his affairs and put them away. And what I found all over his vanity were these dates with these cards with dates and names on them. I'm gonna tell you this last. I want you to remember this. I want all of these dates on there. You know what all those are? There's hundreds of those index cards. Those are all people. My dad was in an anonymous program, so I never knew this. These are all the people that my dad helped get sober and their sobriety one more day birth date. My dad would text or call every single one of these people every single day, every single month to tell them, you know what he would say when he would call them? Hey, stay sober one more day. Just one more day. Congratulations on your anniversary. One more day, one more day, one more day. It's always one more. You're looking, you have a long-term vision. My dad wanted to be sober forever, but he did it one day at a time. You make one more phone call, one more rep in the gym, one more I love you to your family, one more effort, one more try, one more decision, one more call, one more email, one more relationship, one more event, one more note you take, and you start stacking those up, you build an incredible life. The hour before my dad died, I watched him on the phone. He couldn't breathe. His phone was ringing. He says, Debbie, who's calling? Mom says, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My dad said, who is it? He says, it's Carlos. I watched my dad barely able to breathe. No one going to know whether he did this. No one's ever going to count it against him. And I watched him one more time talk someone into staying sober one more day. I tell you all of this about my son and my dad and you and all the things we've covered in these 33 minutes because I want you to take very seriously the power of doing one more call, one more engagement, one more person you help. When you start stacking that up over a week, a year, a month, you get the momentum. My son won that golf tournament because he kept hitting one more shot, one more ball, one more practice session. You do one more. There's people in your life you need one more conversation with. There's contacts. There's people that need your business. There's people you want to honor. There's people in your ancestry who sacrificed everything for some of you to be here, and you need to honor them and do something great with your life. You were born to do something great with your life. Every single one of you were. The good news is the greatest happiness salesman of all time, this dude named Jesus, he promises this thing called heaven, which is the happiest place in the world. Isn't that cool? And this has nothing to do with religion. I'm just telling you this. He made you in his image and likeness. He did not make you to be average and ordinary. You were born to do something great with your life. And when you die, I hope you get into heaven. I hope he says, well done, good and faithful servant. But I can tell you what else happens. You get introduced to the woman or the man you could have been. I have this vision that he's going to introduce me. Ed, well done. Let me introduce you to the man you could have been, the memories, the moments, the people you could have helped, the emotions, the unbelievable things in your life. That's the guy I made you to be. And when I get there, I'm going to go, man, I've been chasing you. And I want that version of me to go, man, I've been watching and you caught me. Welcome to heaven. That's heaven to me as you catch that person you're capable of becoming. My dad spent the first 40 years of his life not being that person. So it's never too late. And then he made changes and started down a different road. I know when my dad got there, they were identical twins. Heaven, when we die, is we meet that woman or man we're capable of, and we've maxed it all out. Hell is you meet her and you're total strangers because you didn't take the risks. You didn't believe in yourself. You didn't get the momentum. You didn't do the one mores. You want to die and you want to go to heaven someday? That's one of the ways you do it. God bless you. Max out. Have a great rest of your meeting.
All right, guys. So didn't mean to make you cry on a Wednesday morning. Sorry. However, I know. Sorry, Sarah. I know I saw several of you sniffling. I should have pre-warned you. My bad. I forgot that it was that emotional. However, I wanted to show you that because because one, it's amazing. And two, I want you to think about, I know a lot of times we're like mindset and it's always, positive and it's always a lot of these great things. And while I navigate towards those things, sometimes these stories are also more powerful to make you think. And so a couple of the things that I wrote down that I want you to think about in regards to mindset are, number one, do you have the mindset that his dad had? I mean, that's a strong mindset. And without a strong mindset, none of that he would have not have been able to push through or do any of those things. You've got to have a really strong mindset. I can't even imagine to be that sick and feel how he was feeling and still being worried about keeping the people that he cared about one more day sober. And so I think I know that takes a very strong mindset. So I want you to ask yourself, how strong do you feel like your mindset is in that? And then the second thing was the honoring other people. That part really kind of hit me hard. I was like, man, that's so true. When things get hard, or when your mindset gets down, or when you don't have the win that you were hoping for, or whatever that looks like, because we all have those days and we all have those times and those moments. Just switching your mindset and thinking about honoring other people, or honoring your family, or honoring maybe your, like he said, your ancestors. I mean, Lord, I never thought about that. And like, think about we don't even know what our ancestors 5 or 6 generations before now actually did to prepare something for us. So being able to truly honor them. And then the third point was just stacking up little wins and stacking up the momentum in your life. If anybody else, hopefully there's somebody out there that is like me, you move so fast that we forget to stop and actually think about some of the big or small, I forget the big ones and the small ones, but the small things or the big things that are really huge wins and successes. And I always think about my friend and mentor, Linda McKissick, who said that one time she was going through an exercise and her coach made her write down all the great things that had happened in the last 90 days. And she said she was just struggling thinking about what to write down, and actually forgot that Jimmy and she had written Hold, which was a New York Times bestseller book. It hit the bestseller book in the first 30 days. And she completely forgot that she did that in the previous 90 days because she was so on to the next. And so I think I want to challenge you guys to think about stacking up all of the little wins that you have. And maybe they aren't, maybe Monica has a win that isn't important to me, but it's important to her because she was really thinking about it and it was something that she wanted to achieve, or whatever that looks like. It's for you personal. But when you stack them up, like he said, it was just like his son, for those of you that heard that part, I think it was last week or the week before. My days are running together, but his son just did like a little bit better in golf every single time, and then got a college golf scholarship, right? And then went on and lost 80 pounds because he was so determined to win. He took all of those little moments and he kept stacking them, and he got in proximity to winning, and that gave him the momentum to keep going and to keep going. And I feel like this time of year, raise your hand if this time of year you're ready to like kind of slow it down. Am I the only person that I'm like, okay, I'm ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas and I've busted it all year and I'm ready for a little slowdown? And so I think whether you are that way or not, sometimes we just need a little reminder of the momentum, the little wins and the momentum just to keep us going. And then on the really hard times, is our mindset such that we can think about really pushing through and keeping on and honoring people and continuing to do the things that we know bring to others. Does anybody have any ahas or anything that really stuck out to you in that video that you would want to share, either unmute or in the chat? Or I know we have several people watching on Facebook Live. Unfortunately, I can't see those comments. So I don't know. Anything that really stuck out to you in that? I know, Dawn, you had to see it for the second time, so sorry.
I love it though. And this is like a lot, but after I watched that, or during the time I was watching it with Adam, because we were all like crying. I mean, it was crazy, that Friday phone call. Anyway, I sent my ex-husband a message and I said something like, one more time, I'll be like fine with it now. But at the time I was emotional. And then today I sent him a message because all the kids were here last night. And I said something like, we did really great with our kids. They're awesome, smart, and gorgeous. So it's like, because of that last week, I think I just Sunday decided to be go to the place where you're thankful and grateful. And I think that's really what it's about. And that one more time is like a big deal, right? There's nothing I can do about it. I'm fine with it because it was my decision, but it was just kind of that thing where thinking about it, right? One more time, that's all you needed.
Man, I know
Yeah.
you, and I know that that was a big deal for you to send that text, so.
But I
good
did
job.
on Friday
But
during
you
that call.
did,
Because I
yeah.
thought that was one thing that I thought, oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway,
That's
sorry,
awesome.
guys.
Thanks for sharing that.
It's all
No, I
good.
love
I'm fine.
That's good. I did see you with all three of your kiddos last night, and I was like, heart, 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 heart. I know
Oh
how
my
much you
gosh,
probably loved
yeah.
having them all
So-
together.
But anyway,
Yes, thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing that, Dawn. Yep. So yes, Jess said one more. Yeah, and I like that part too. Anybody can do one more. I mean, even if it's like down to something silly, like one more rep in the gym or one more mile that you're gonna walk. You know, this morning I was thinking, okay, I just need to go one more mile. So tonight I'm gonna go back and walk a little bit more. But once you start getting that in your mindset, then you start to think about that, over and over and over again.
One more mile is not a small feat.
Is that Angela?
Yeah. From a gal who doesn't like to walk, one more mile is not a small feat.
Very true. I know, but you know what? Then my mindset switched exactly what Dawn said. My mindset switched instantly to I'm just so grateful that I can walk one more mile. You know what I mean? Or that I have like my legs work and my knee isn't hurting anymore. And it's like you get to that mindset space where you're like, man, why not do it? Because I can honor the people that can't do that, or that one day, I mean, I might not be able to walk a mile. So I think it's just your whole mindset around it, around everything, around the big things and the small things, for sure.
I don't necessarily have a new aha. I just want to say that listening to this again was just as impactful as being in person.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
In person was so hard to listen to it, but fulfilling at the same time. And then re-listening to it was the feeling didn't dilute. So like hearing it a couple weeks later is just as powerful. So like maybe I'll listen to that every month.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that, Angela, because I noticed that when I was there in person and then when I watched it for the first time after, I took more notes I picked up on different things. And then I've watched it several times now, and I picked up on even more things. And then actually we'll end with this. I don't have this like on a slide or anything for you guys, and I haven't listened to this yet, but Adam said at the gym this morning, he listened to the Ed Milet Show podcast that dropped on October the 12th. That's Succeed with Happiness and Confidence. And it's with that Dean Graziosi, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. And Adam sent it to me this morning and said, make sure you listen to this before the day's over. That it was really, really great. So if it's not good, blame Adam. If it is, you can thank me.
It's amazing.
I think she's frozen.
I thought she was offended
Guys.
with my comment.
Is that all you were going to say, Troy? Just kidding.
Oh, sorry guys. My internet is terrible today. I am keeping it on the Facebook page. Yes. So you can go back and watch it. Okay. I have no clue if you can hear me or not. Sorry.
We can hear you now, Dana.
Okay. All right. Well, go listen to the podcast. I'll keep it on the Facebook page, and have a wonderful week. And think about, do you have the mindset that his dad did? That's the question I want to leave you with today. So thanks for being here. Have a good Wednesday. See you guys later.